They say curiosity kills the cat. But in my case, curiosity didn't kill me. It left me with a memory that rots inside my brain, festering a little more every single year when the snow starts to fall. It was December 24th, 1998. I lived in a town where the winters were cruel, the kind of cold that hurts to breathe. I was 12 years old, sitting in my bedroom, staring at the ceiling. There was a rumor in our town, not about a jolly man in a red suit. The older kids whispered about the chimney walker. They said that every few years, if the winter was cold enough, something else came down. I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to prove them wrong. I wanted to catch Santa eating his cookies. So I made the worst decision of my life. I decided to wait up. The house was silent, a heavy, oppressive silence. I crept down the hallway. Every step felt like a gunshot in the quiet. I reached the living room. The Christmas tree was glowing softly. It looked peaceful. A plate of cookies and a glass of milk sat on the small table. It was the perfect scene. It was a trap. I hid behind my father's large leather armchair. It smelled like old tobacco and dust. I pulled my knees to my chest and waited. And then the smell hit me. It crept into the room like a fog. It smelled like wet dog, like sulfur, like meat that had been left in the sun for too long. Then came the sound. Thump. Something heavy landed on the roof. The whole house shook. It wasn't sleigh bells. It was the sound of dragging, and then scratching inside the chimney. Long, agonizing scrapes. Screech! Whatever was coming down, it was too big. I could hear bones popping. It was squeezing itself through. A boot dropped into the ashes. Thud. Then another. The boots were huge, black leather, ancient, cracked, and covered in sludge. Slowly the figure unfolded. It stood up. It was impossibly tall. Its head almost brushed the ceiling beams. It was thin, skeletal. He stood there, back to me, breathing. Raspy, wet, rattling breaths. He turned towards the table. The cookies. I watched in horror as a hand, a gray, withered hand with yellow talons, reached out. He didn't eat the cookie. He crushed it in his fist. Then he picked up the milk. He poured it onto the floor. Then I noticed the sack. It was on the floor behind him. It was squirming. There were things inside, living things. He reached into the sack. I heard a muffled cry. He shoved a fist into the bag and the voice stopped with a crunch. He pulled out a box wrapped in dirty newspaper. He placed it under the tree. The tree lights flickered and turned a sickly green. I prayed he would leave, but then he stopped. He went perfectly still, like a statue. Slowly, the head began to turn. The body didn't move, just the neck. It turned all the way around. That face, sunken black pits for eyes, and a beard that looked like white mold growing on a corpse. He hissed, "Found you." He didn't walk, he glided. In a blink, he was standing over me. He leaned down. I closed my eyes, waiting for the sack. A cold, wet finger tapped my forehead. "Not ripe," he rasped. "I will let you ripen." Darkness took me. When I woke up, it was Christmas morning. The sun was shining. My parents came down, smiling. They didn't see the black grease stain on the rug, but I did. And under the tree sat the dirty box wrapped in newspaper. I opened it alone. Inside was a lump of coal, but it was warm. It pulsed like a heart, and when I touched it, it bled. I buried it, but I can't bury the memory. Every Christmas, I lock my doors. He left me a box that day, a terrible box. There are stories that shouldn't be told, but if you are brave enough to open the lid, subscribe. Enter the terrible box, but be warned, once you subscribe, you never leave.